पदमजीत शेरावत जी, आपको प्रणाम। क्योंकि मोटिवेशनल टॉक्स तो बड़ी सुनी थी, लेकिन मोटिवेशनल म्यूजिकल पहली बार देखा है और उसका आनंद लिया है। कमाल की बात है। बातें सब करते हैं, लेकिन आपने उसके साथ जो गाने भी जोड़ दिए ना, हमको बड़ा मोटिवेट कर रहे हो। आपके साथ खेले हम सब।
सहरावत हैं वो असली ऑलराउंडर।
हिंदुस्तान सारी दुनिया इसको सुनेगी।
डैडी एक मल्टी टैलेंटेड पर्सनालिटी है। वो स्क्रीन पर जो एनर्जी लेके आते हैं वो
I would say, people say, they are jack of all trades, master of none, but I think he's a jack of all trades and master of.
There's a lion, and a lion is looking at one man standing in one corner, and two kids are standing in the other corner. A lion will always target the one standing alone because everyone is so afraid of unity. You don't want to deal with unity. Unity is such power, and that power only sport can teach you. So the biggest lesson that I've learned in life is it's not about I, it's about we. मुड़ मुड़ के देखते थे लोग कभी आपको, फिर उन्हीं नजरों को पलटाना है, शर्ट को पैंट में टक करके खुद को खुद से मिलाना है। टेंशन तो देगी ये जिंदगी, यही काम है इसका, एक्सरसाइज का लगा लो चस्का। पेट खींच के जब आप लोगों के सामने होते हो, पेट खींच के कब तक बात करोगे? ये पेट एक लिमिट तक ही तो अंदर करोगे। एक्सरसाइज करने से परेशानियां होती हैं कम और जिंदगी रहती है तररम पम 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 पम। एक्सरसाइज, please exercise. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. If you can't crawl, then move. I mean, just move.
Yes.
Can't fly, run. Can't run, walk. Can't walk, crawl, move. Life does not happen at the level of what you and I are doing. Words, no. Life does not happen at the level of sentences. Life happens at the level of movement. Everything has an expiry date. आप खुद से पूछेंगे कल फिर सूरज निकलेगा, कल खुशी लौटेगी क्या? मैं कितना हंसता था, वो हंसी लौटेगी क्या? मेरी चटर पटर से घर महकता था, मैं फिर से चहकूंगा क्या? मेरा कॉन्फिडेंस कहीं गायब हो गया, मैं फिर से वैसा होऊंगा? Absolutely. Keep doing your regular stuff. The thing that you end up doing during depression is you put on weight. A failure is not somebody who falls. A failure is somebody that does not after falling. गिरते हैं शहसवारी मैदान जंग में वो तिफल के अगरे जो घुटनों के बल चले। तो इसके बाद मैं गाना गाऊंगा, रुक जाना नहीं तू कहीं हार के, कांटों पे चल के मिलेंगे साए बहार के। Then I'll tell people the right time to do a thing is now. If you do it now, the world's going to say wow. If you don't do it now, the world's going to say ciao.
Welcome to yet another episode of Go Beyond Sports with me, Sonali Gupta, bringing to you stories and people in sports. Today with us, we have Padamjeet Sehrawat. He is a singer, composer, actor, anchor, commentator, and motivational speaker. In case you're wondering what he's doing here on a sports show, it's because he's a cricketer. He has represented Haryana in all age groups and also captained Haryana, represented Haryana in Ranji Trophies, represented North Zone in Deodhar Trophy, represented and captained Delhi University, represented all India versities in the Vizzy Trophy. As a commentator, he has done commentary for many coveted channels like ESPN, Star Sports, Z, 10 Sports, Sony, and more. And he also has more than 600 concerts as a singer under his belt, because of which he is very aptly called the epitome of versatility. Thank you and welcome to the show, Padamjeet ji. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Sonali, and the pleasure and honor is all mine. I mean, thank you so much for having me here. I was always wanting to be a part of your show. Kab bulaoge, aap aaj bulaya.
Thank you so much. And we are going to jump directly in. And, the first question, of course, is ki you've been a sports person. And what drew you? What inspired you? What does sports mean to you in your life?
As you said, sport is life. I think one thing is when you play sport, whether you play it professionally or you just play it like that, I mean, it benefits you in ways greater than one. It makes you a better human being. It teaches you the values of togetherness. I mean, sport to me is the biggest metaphor. Sport is the way of life. Sport is all about struggle, about deadlocks where little seems to happen in spite of much effort. But the moment you start to enjoy, results start to follow. Sport is about those incredible moments where sheer human will and desires overcome the odds. Sport to me is all about emotions. It's about euphoria of a win. It's about gloom of a loss. It's about victory. It's about defeat. It's about realizing that whenever you play sport, you never lose. Either you win or you learn. And that is it's a learning process, isn't it? So sport and then the best friendships happen in sport.
Yes.
The friendships that I've had on the cricket field are the best of friendships which I enjoy till this day as well. So I believe we need to be. Are we a sporting nation? Sporting nation? No, we're not. Are we moving towards it? Yes, we are.
Perhaps yes. Perhaps yes. And so then tell me, what's the one aspect of sport that has been incredibly vital for you in your life, which has actually stayed with you and been this strong support system for you in your life?
I think the basic ethics and the values of life. It is the when I'm not jealous of anyone. A true sportsman will not be jealous of anyone. Jealousy is the homage paid by the inferior to the superior. So if my colleague, if my teammate is doing well, I'll feel very happy about it. Yes, there'll be healthy rivalry, but at no point will there be jealousy. I mean, I'll be enjoying his success. It's all about enjoying your partner's success, isn't it? See, till the time nobody cares who gets the credit, the team will always benefit. Alone, you can do so little. Together, you can do so much. There's a lion, and a lion is looking at one man standing in one corner, and two kids are standing in the other corner. A lion will always target the one standing alone because everyone is so afraid of unity. You don't want to deal with unity. Unity is such power, and that power only sport can teach you. So the biggest lesson that I've learned in life is it's not about I, it's about we.
So tell me something when you were talking, and I would love to, touch upon this aspect of healthy rivalry, like you call it, or jealousy, or envy. These are very subtle nuances of being human, which we don't end up talking about, especially on a sporting field, because when you are up there and out there, and like you mentioned also, it's about either winning or learning. And these are the lessons all of us are taught, that you learn to make friends, you learn to be healthy, and you learn to be healthy competition. And these are a lot of, sometimes these are a lot of jargon that is thrown across to children when they are growing up, because they do feel these emotions of jealousy and envy and wanting to win and wanting to be the one. um, how do how do you think we can talk more about it, and how do you address these issues with them?
I think we must tell them that exercise is the most potent and the most underutilized antidepressant. And this is not just for kids, this is for everybody. I think when you exercise, let me tell you the value of sweating. When you sweat, you release stress. Sweat releases endorphins, which are hormones that trigger the happy vibes in the body. Okay, BDNF, brain derived neurotrophic factor. It's a protein in the brain that multiplies brain cells only on the condition that you should be exercising regularly. Healthy mind rests in a healthy body. We must teach our kids at a very young age. Hello, hello, hello. Maggie is okay, but not every day. Hello, chocolates are okay, but once in 2 days, 3 days. What is most important is, see, we must understand this. Human body is the best gift given to us by the Almighty. What we eat in private, we wear in public. मेरी एक छोटी सी पोयम है, कैन आई रिसाइट दैट इन हिंदी?
Please,
2
please,
lines.
please, please.
तो मैंने बड़ी फनी तरीके से उसको लिखा है। मुड़ मुड़ के देखते थे लोग कभी आपको, फिर उन्हीं नजरों को पलटाना है, शर्ट को पैंट में टक करके खुद को खुद से मिलाना है। टेंशन तो देगी ये जिंदगी, यही काम है इसका, एक्सरसाइज का लगा लो चस्का। पेट खींच के जब आप लोगों के सामने होते हो, पेट खींच के कब तक बात करोगे? ये पेट एक लिमिट तक ही तो अंदर करोगे। एक्सरसाइज करने से परेशानियां होती हैं कम और जिंदगी रहती है तररम पम 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 पम। Exercise. Please exercise. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. If you can't crawl, then move. I mean, just move.
Yes.
Can't fly, run. Can't run, walk. Can't walk, crawl, move. Life does not happen at the level of what you and I are doing. Words, no. Life does not happen at the level of sentences. Life happens at the level of movement. When you keep trying, you keep succeeding. People ask me, Sonali, what is the mantra for success? And my self-creation, one of the quotes is, repeat more is the only success code. I mean, all you need to do is you have to be on a repeat mode every single day. You can never master life, but you can master every day that comes in your life. Master this day and keep repeating it. Repeat mode is the only success code. Supposedly you're having food, Sonali, and you've taken one nivala from your thali and it has reached here and the light goes and inverter is also not working, this hand will not wait for the electricity to come because it takes this distance, this
Right.
journey every single day. Habit.
Absolutely.
If
Absolutely.
somebody tells me Sonali is more talented than I am, I'm sure you are more talented than I am. Somebody tells me you're more hardworking than I am, then I'll say, hello, how many hours do you put in together in a day, Sonali? You'll say 10 hours. What stops me from putting 14 hours in a day?
Absolutely.
The most vital and the most cherished possession for every human being is your effort.
Right.
What does it take to be on time? Nothing. What does it take to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning? Nothing. You don't require any external support, do you? We always crib. I think if you look around and see what others are coping with, you'll find yourselves very fortunate.
Yes.
If you sleep well and if you wake up healthy, you are already a successful person. Everything else is a bonus.
Right. And these,
Sorry.
I agree, these are very, very, in just so many words, you've absolutely summarized so many vital, important things that a lot of people are talking about when it comes to motivation and about, how to sort of, uh, it is about believing in yourself. It is about putting in the hard work. There is a saying, and I'm sure I don't get it right now, but it is like there can be success on the basis of talent only up to a certain level, after which hard work takes over, right? And this is what we see in a lot of children also. There are so many children who are born perhaps naturally good at a game, and there is only a natural player who can go that far with his or her game, until a player who has actually learned through sheer hard work can take over any other time. So this aspect that you're talking about in terms of hard work, and the theory of 10,000 times of repetition to sort of get your one stroke right, or get your game right. There are so many things that we talk about in sports as well. So coming back to, again, uh, what do you think is really important in terms of bringing this aspect of movement in our lives and in our country? Like, when we talk exercise, mostly people have very cliched notion of, oh, I have to go to the gym, or I have to walk, or I have to run. And like you said, if you can't run, you walk, and if you can't walk, you crawl. There are just so many ways in which you can move. The body is sort of designed to move. It is not designed to be stable. So how do you think we can bring this awareness, and how do you bring about this awareness through your motivational talks when you're talking to people?
I remind people, you spoke about hard work and you spoke about talent. I think if somebody is talented and somebody is being boastful about it, I mean, please don't, because you've got nothing to do with it. These are gifts that have been given to you by the Almighty. I mean, what have you done with that talent is what matters, right?
Right.
Hard work beats talent when talent does not work hard. It's as simple as that. Look at the most inspirational innovators, athletes, icons, superstars across history, Sonali, and you will realize that all of them had one common notion. They never entertained the notion of failure as a bad thing.
Yeah.
A failure is not somebody who falls. A failure is somebody who does not rise after falling. It's impossible to live life without having failed at something, unless you live it so cautiously that you might not have lived at all, in which case you fail by default. Harry Potter, everyone's read Harry Potter. The author, J.K. Rowling, was unemployed, was divorced. She had no money in the bank. She just had an old typewriter and she had a great idea. Sorry, she had one more thing. Belief. She turned it around. She went to 13 publishing houses, all of them rejected her. Did she
Yep.
give up? No. Harry Potter. Einstein.
Right.
The parents were called. Please come to school. Your kid is a nincompoop. Bad influence on the others. Till the age of 7, he could not read a word or understand. He gave us physics. Damn it.
Right.
Would you realize it? Nobody. Show me a person who says he's never failed. I'll show you a person who's never made an effort. Amitabh Bachchan was rejected by All India Radio. They
Absolutely.
said, your voice is not good. Amitabh Bachchan went to Mumbai, 7 auditions failed. Amitabh Bachchan became the superstar. Then came another phase. He started ABCL. ABCL flopped. He had no money to give to people, to employees. Did he give up? No. He went to the next door neighbor, Yash Chopra. He said, sir, can you please give me work? काम छोटा या बड़ा नहीं होता, काम काम होता है. He
Right.
went and asked for it.
Yes.
Everyone has tasted it. Virendra Sehwag batting, Sachin Tendulkar batting, beat an outside off stump. Did they give up? Even that's a failure. When you try something, you don't succeed, you can term it as failure. What I've learned from life, Sonali, I'm not here because I'm the most knowledgeable or the most intelligent or I'm a saint. Absolutely not. I'm here because I've made more mistakes than anybody else. Mistakes are the portals of discovery. I've learned that the darkest nights will give you the brightest stars. I've learned that the most toxic people will teach you the most important lessons. I've learned that you and I do not own all the problems of the world. I've realized that the most painful struggles will take you to the most necessary growth. I've also realized that everything has an expiry date. Stop cribbing. Get up, rise up. Believe you me, nothing hits as hard as life does. Can you hit back at life? And the answer is no. What will you hit at? Wall, air, tree? All you need is take the hit, keep moving forward. My father always told me, I was an income tax inspector and I gave the job. I said, I don't want this. My father did not speak to me for a year. He said, you must always have something to fall back upon. I disagreed with him. Disagreement does not mean disrespect. I said, if at all I have to fall, I'd rather fall forward. I'll fall forward and not back. I realized I had an artist in me. I had somebody who could control things from the stage as a singer, as a speaker. And I wanted to live that. I did not want to be in a 9 to 5. Nothing wrong in a 9 to 5, but it did not suit me. Nothing is good or bad. It's the thinking that makes it so. Uh, so that is what I've learned, and I try and give my learnings to others, and I tell them, please, I'm not saying this because I'm a saint, but because out of experience, these are the things that I've learned.
Right. So tell me something. Are we are we talking enough of this mental aspect of ourselves? Are we talking enough of mental health? We are currently under this mental health week, mental health month, and it's become a movement of sorts. Mental health is also a silent killer, and a lot of people are not even aware of mental health issues. A very normal human being may be going through a certain period in their life or a certain aspect which could actually be a mental health issue that we are not even aware of. Um, Apart from mental health coming into our lives, how much of mental health is actually there in the aspect of sports? And how many players out there or how many athletes out there? Of course, today we know, we know Naomi Osaka, we know Simon Biles, if I have got it right. They are talking about this. They are talking about the stress. They are talking about mental health. They are talking about all of these aspects. As a sports player, how important is it to address your mental health along with your physical exercising for that sport?
See, physical exercise happens to every sportsman, so he does not worry about that. A common man needs to worry about the physical exercise because the physical exercise may or may not be happening for him. For a sportsman, and there's a myth, Sonali, and let's clear this day. And let me say this to your fans on your show. Depression most times needs a trigger. Something triggers it off. Not always. Most times, yes. All the times, no. I got depressed in 2011. Did something trigger it off? My father died in 2007. I got depression in 2011. Success or failure was not the reason for me to get depressed. It can happen. It's like you're walking on a street, it suddenly starts to rain. You suddenly have flu. I just don't understand the fact that why are people so scared of talking about it? What is it? Have you committed a crime? For God's sake. I remember I did IPL commentary in 2013 and IPL final. It's the most prestigious thing for any broadcaster. You do it. Next day, I'm taking my flight from Mumbai to Delhi. My flight takes off, and I'm hoping and praying it doesn't land in Delhi. I said, "ये कहीं ocean में गिर गया." Then I said 200 other passengers on the same flight. Why would you want ill to happen to them? So then I thought कि नहीं किसी और दिन मुझे कुछ हो जाएगा. So one goes through all these moments, but I was strong enough not to have passed on my pains to my family and my close ones and my close buddies. What is the moral of the story? The moral of the story is it is related to stress. People sometimes when they feel the stress, they think they are depressed. They're not depressed. Stress may or may not be depression. Stress is not always depression. Stress will happen when things are at stake and things such high are at stake. You are about to throw your final javelin for the country. Of course, you will have butterflies. If you're not nervous at those moments, when will you be nervous? But you need to know how to channelize your energies into. Uh, Butterflies are fine till the time butterflies are flowing in the same direction. If 50% of them are left to right, the other 50 are right to left, they'll clash. So
Right.
everyone goes through it. I think the best that you can ever do is, keep good company. It's very important to talk to positive people. Believe you me, just check negativity out of your life. It's just chuck it out, throw it out, check it. If somebody's negative, chuck it, check it, chuck it, check it, chuck it. That has to be the mantra. Uh, what is depression? Depression is, see, it's David versus Goliath. A thought comes. Supposedly, you're my best buddy. A thought will come. Sonali is, not a great friend of yours, and she's planning something against you. A thought will come, random thought. Your heart doesn't want to believe this. So it's David versus Goliath. This poor lad will never be able to give a satisfactory answer to this. People will say, why end of the day, what is happiness? Happiness is peace of mind. Happiness is when you don't have a clash between the heart and the mind. No racy heart, no pacey mind, peaceful existence. Is that not what everyone aspires for? And that is happiness. Peace is happiness. During depression, during stress times, you don't get peace. Something is bothering you all the time. You don't get to sleep, right? So I think the best that you can do is uh, just make sure, just chuck negativity out of your life. Talk to positive people, think positive. And sometimes things are not in your hands. Just tell yourself everything has an expiry date.
Right.
And if need be, please see a doctor. Please see a doctor.
Yes.
लोग ये सोचते हैं सोनाली कि आप साइकेट्रिस्ट के पास जाने से आप पागल हो जाएंगे. लोग कहेंगे
Yes.
पागल है. नहीं, दवाई नहीं लेंगे तो पागल हो जाएंगे.
Yes. And I think that's sort of unfortunately a very misunderstood and uninformed, or perhaps an uneducated view that we all have, towards mental health and towards depression. But tell me something that, you mentioned you've been through with it. And I'm sure a
Yeah.
lot of us, there are days when you sort of just don't want to move. There are days when you just don't want to do something. Does all of that come under a depression umbrella? We all know that, yes, depression is something that's a little more prolonged. It's not that, just because we are talking depression 2 days in a row, you do not feel like doing something means you're depressed. So again, there is a lot of misinformation that a lot of us also have. But however, coming back to sports, how do you identify that you are actually going through a phase of depression versus, say, just the stress of a loss, or perhaps the stress of a tournament or a big platform?
The time of that will tell you. If it's 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, perhaps a week also, because you can, whenever you look back at the moment, and because there was such an important moment and that had come after so much toil, labor, effort, hard work, sleepless nights. But if it gets prolonged, and then definitely, I mean, it's a reason for concern. You must sit down, you must realize, you must analyze, and see, it comes in various shapes and forms. There's no one particular form to it. Depression is when you're not normal, when things that used to give you joy, you are not getting thrilled by the same things again. What is the high for any athlete, for any artist for that matter? For me, instant gratification. You know, uh, we human beings, we aspire for instant gratification, right? The deepest principle in human nature is the craving to be appreciated. So I was doing a concert in Jaipur. um, I'll send you pictures. I'm surrounded by people signing autographs after the concert, and I'm not getting the kick. I'm not feeling happy. So I realized something is wrong, because I used to search for this moment. I used to wait for this moment. I would work hard for this moment. Now this moment is here, and it is not giving me joy. Did Deepika Padukone get depressed because she was not with Ranveer Singh? No, that happened 3 years earlier. The reason for her depression was she had no reason. Sometimes it can come to you without any reason. That's what I said. It does not need a trigger every time. It can just happen to you. Believe you me, sit down and this will pass. Everything has an expiry date. आप खुद से पूछेंगे कल फिर सूरज निकलेगा, कल खुशी लौटेगी क्या, मैं कितना हंसता था वो हंसी लौटेगी क्या, मेरी चटर पटर से घर महकता था, मैं फिर से चहकूंगा क्या, मेरा कॉन्फिडेंस कहीं गायब हो गया, मैं फिर से वैसा होऊंगा. Absolutely. Keep doing your regular stuff. The thing that you end up doing during depression is you put on weight. Sometimes you eat a lot or you don't eat a lot. Please make sure when your first cue, your body gives you your first cue to sleep, hit the bed, sleep. Between the first cue and the second cue, you will make maximum journeys to the refrigerator. Sleep when your body gives you the first cue. The second cue, you never know when it's going to come. It may take 3 to 4 hours even. So sleep when it can. Sweat a lot. It's very important to exercise. Meet positive people in life. Even if one of your parents is negative, don't talk. That is not the time to show that, no, I am a nice kid and I need to be listening to my parents. If your parents are giving you negative advice or somebody's constantly not being positive, avoid that person, irrespective of who he or she is. Believe you me, you need positivity in life. Surround yourselves amongst flowers, amongst greenery. Talk to people who are very positive. Watch something nice. Don't watch horror movies. They're tiny little things, Sonali. They make such an impact. I can tell you because I've gone through it. I'm not a psychiatrist, but I have gone through it, and there's nothing that a psychiatrist can't tell you that I can tell you and I can't.
Right. So, can I then ask you, how does a sports person deal with depression for themselves? Yes, it may lead to, like you said, it brings on a journey to the refrigerator, perhaps not to food at all. Maybe for a player, and say let's talk in terms of a cricket player, they may not be able to perform, they may not be able to bat or perhaps bowl, and it just goes on for a longer period of time where they're just not able to hit the spot and hit the spot and hit the spot. And then that's the day when they realize that, okay, it sort of starts with, it's like a domino effect where first it starts with, oh, I'm not good enough because I'm not bowling at my correct spot or I'm not getting my shots right, to maybe he's better than me and now I will not be able to, play better, not get picked for the team or the country or the club. And it's sort of a downward journey into the small funnel of sitting in a corner as a depressed person. How do you identify this, and how do you bridge the gap between that first moment and then funneling down into a complete full blown depression person?
See, depression is the fear of failure but no urge to be productive. It's wanting friends but hating socializing. It's wanting to be alone but not wanting to be lonely. It's a very, very mixed situation. It is caring about everything then suddenly caring about nothing. It's feeling everything at once and then feeling paralyzingly numb. So you go through so many emotions and so many phases about it. But sportsmen, you need to cut off from your regular schedule at times. You must say that this sport is my life, but this is not all that I have in life. There's more to it. There are my friends. Maybe you've not partied for a while. Maybe you've not laughed for a while. Go to your friends. Gossip. Sometimes gossip. It's important to gossip. You know what? It takes the stress factor off. If a person's troubling you, talk about your depression phase. Talk about your depression phase. Why are psychiatrists important? Why are doctors important? Because they want you to talk. And please talk to people who are good listeners. Because mostly in life, you'll not find people who are good listeners. People listen to, not to understand, but to respond. Right. Almighty has given us 2 ears and 1 mouth. Why? There's a reason. Almighty wants us to listen more and speak less. Every great orator has been a good listener. Speak to people who are listening. See, when you are a good listener, suddenly you give the other person a lot of respect. The other person suddenly starts to confide in you. Here's a person who's listening to me. Look into the eyes and listen. So, talk to people who listen. Be positive. Just leave your schedule for a bit. Change your schedule. Go change your place, maybe. Go to a hill station for a bit. It really matters. Fresh air is so important. Fresh air is so important. And let me tell you one more thing. Don't be a slave of your phone. Read books.
Yeah.
Can I recite one of my poems in Hindi,
Please.
if you allow me?
Please.
You know what? I'll give you, before I do that, I'll give you two small pieces of incidents. Once the missionaries went to South Africa and they said, "Oh, all of you close your eyes. We've got Bible for you." So they started to pray. So when they opened their eyes, the missionaries had the land, and the people in South Africa had the Bible. What is the moral of the story? The moral of the story is nothing comes for free. Social media came into our lives, Sonali, and we were like, they said, "Okay, close your eyes. We've got something free for you." Closed our eyes. When we opened our eyes, we saw, "Oh, WhatsApp free, Facebook free. Wow, was it
Right.
for free?"
Oh,
Our freedom
take it
is
away.
the price that we've had to pay for it.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
one day I was sending my song to one of the producers, and on WhatsApp I sent the song. "Meri aankh lag gayi." So I realized when I woke up, my phone was resting on my chest. So I realized, when was the last time when I had an open book resting on my chest? And I looked back and I wrote a poem. तो मैंने लिखा कि बीत गया है एक अरसा, छाती पे रख किताब सोए, तैरती हैं ये मेरी उंगलियां इस फोन पर, खुद से कब जुदा हुआ, ना इल्म है ना शक हुआ, करवटें भी अब मेरी भारी हैं मेरी नींद पर, मुस्कुराती हैं मेरी स्माइलीज किसी और पर, मुस्कुराती हैं मेरी स्माइलीज किसी और पर, मुस्कुराए हुए अब मुझे अरसा हुआ, फालतू में ढूंढते हैं सोचते हैं कोसते हैं, काश मेरा भी कोई अच्छा सा एक दोस्त हो, छोटी सी जिंदगी का छोटा सा एक सार है, घर किताबें हैं तो क्यों करीब कोई और हो, जा जरा आजाद कर खुद को अपने जाल से, दे बदल हर शाम अपनी फोन को किताब से.
Kitab se. Yeah,
Read books.
I
Books are the
cannot.
portals
Yeah.
of discovery. You know, an ordinary human being will have a huge television set in his house. An extraordinarily human being will have a big library in his house.
Right.
Books are the train and the road and the journey. They are the destination and your homes. Read books.
Absolutely. And just as you write so beautifully and all of the poetry, you also conjure up lyrics in just a few seconds and just put them into music so effortlessly. So I'm definitely going to request you to sing for us. However, my question first is, you've created a unique concept called the motivational musical. So how
it's now called Musical Talk Shala, Sonali. We've changed the name.
Okay.
Now it's Musical Talk Shala.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
So
yes, and how does it work? And why do you think people need this kind of a different concept of motivation? Are we done just listening to motivational talks, and does this kind of bring in a new element? How's it different, and how does it work?
I'll give you a small demo before I tell you about various other things. So supposedly I say a failure is not somebody who falls. A failure is somebody that does not after falling. गिरते हैं शहसवारी मैदान जंग में वो तिफल के अंग्रेज घुटनों के बल चले. तो इसके बाद मैं गाना गाऊंगा. रुक जाना नहीं तू कहीं हार के, कांटों पे चल के मिलेंगे साए बहार के. Then I'll tell people the right time to do a thing is now. If you do it now, the world's going to say wow. If you don't do it now, the world's going to say ciao. Then I'll say, आने वाला पल जाने वाला है, हो सके तो इसमें जिंदगी बिता दो, पल ये जो जाने वाला है, हो. So whatever I say, I follow it up with a song, relevant song. So they're properly stitched together. So there is talk and there is music. The idea is when people attend my concerts or talks or shows, musical talk chalas, they're not bored. You know, the idea is to keep them hooked, it's educative, it's entertaining, it's people are liking the idea because nobody's ever tried this before. And thankfully most of it is my original content.
Right.
So,
and also music is one of the biggest perhaps stress busters, and it is known to have such a huge effect on us, human mind, human brain, or even the bodies for that matter. So yes, music really is again transcends language and perhaps just about anything that limits us. So you motivate so many people and you motivate others. What motivates you?
Life motivates me. My
I
success
just
that
knew
has
you were going to
eluded me
say
so
that.
far. Yeah, my success that has eluded me so far motivates me. I realize that my world has not seen even 0.1% of my potential.
Wow.
I realize that so many people need to be helped. I realize that so many more musical talk chalas need to be done. I realized that I need to make my life more meaningful. I've made more mistakes than any one of 10 people collectively. So every saint has a past. Every sinner has a future. People are scared of making mistakes. Try again. Try again, fail better. Try again, fail even better. Hell with the fear of criticism, hell with the fear of failure. There's just one thing that you do with fears: you set them on fire. So I'm not afraid to try. I bring out a new concept, doesn't work, try something else. So I am a sum of all my mistakes.
And what would be the song for that?
The song would be that my original song, which is we, you, I, everyone. We are all playing a part. We are not the script writers. There's somebody up there who is writing a script, and we just हम तो कठपुतली हैं, वो हिलाते रहते हैं, हिलते रहते हैं. तो मैंने लिखा कि गा दूं 2 लाइनें.
Yes, yes.
अंबर ऊपर बैठा बैठा खेल कर मदारी, अंबर ऊपर बैठा बैठा खेल कर मदारी, कब वो अपनी डोर खींच ले मदारी, जितनी भी सांसें हैं, जितनी भी सांसें हैं, तू तो जी ले भर के सारी है, खेल कर मदारी, खेल कर मदारी, खेल कर मदारी, खेल कर मदारी. So that
Wow.
script writer, another small little poem that I've written on the same is that दिक्कत की ऐसी की तैसी, आज है कल ना होगी ऐसी, एक माटी का दिया सारी रात अंधेरे से लड़ता है, तू तो भगवान का दिया है, तू किस बात से डरता है, तिनका तिनका जोड़े जा, जो मिला है ओढ़े जा, ऊपर बैठा वो मुंशी, ही इज अ मुंशी, इज अ
Yes,
खाता,
yes.
ऊपर बैठा वो मुंशी रख रहा तेरी हर कोशिश का हिसाब, तू बस काम से अपने काम को अपने जोड़े जा, बस जोड़े जा, चलता रहे बस रुकियो ना, चलता रहे बस रुकियो ना, राह मुड़ेगी डरियो ना, कभी कुछ कभी बहुत कुछ कहेंगे लोग, तू परवाह इनकी करियो ना, तिनका तिनका जोड़े जा, जो मिला है ओढ़े जा.
Fantastic. This is such an amazing note to actually end this on. I think I would love to continue talking and continue listening to all of the songs and the motivation, and I'm very, very sure everyone would absolutely enjoy this. Really, thank you so much for talking about this, because you've made such a heavy topic so light. Talking about mental health, talking about depression, talking about what you're going through as a person who has had depression, who has overcome it, not as a sob story, but perhaps as somebody who's, turned it around into a light humor, somebody who's turned it around and made it motivating for others to talk about it. So thank you so much for being on the show. And thank you everyone for being with me. Do continue to support, like, and comment. And see you again soon, once again, on Go Beyond Sports with me, Sonali Gupta.